Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about cardio and unfortunately why we still need to do it. Did I think like once I broke my back I would never have to do cardio again? Yes. Did I make that tasteless joke over and over and over again that I would never have to run again at least? Yes. Did I find out unfortunately very soon that I would actually be sentenced to a lifetime of cardio? Still, also, yes. Um, but does it still feel good? Yes. Exercise is a love-hate thing. You love what happens, at least for me, afterwards. You don't love doing it during the whole thing. Um, what I have here behind me is an exercise bike that is accessible. It's been modded to be used by someone in a wheelchair. This is definitely a secondhand model. The gentleman that I got this from, he no longer has need of it, so I was able to get this not free, but pretty cheap, and all things considered. And since I do live, it's about an hour and a half away from my rehab facility, it does make a lot of sense for me to have start actually collecting equipment here. So I don't have to, one, drive anywhere, but two, continue to be as antisocial as possible. It's a great life. Um, but that is also another reason why it is so important to continue to exercise. Even when you hurt, and you hurt so bad that you can't function, it's still important to try and get some exercise in. Even if it's just 5 minutes at a time. Just the goal is to get stronger so that you can continue living your life independently. If that's not your goal, this channel isn't for you, but you are more than welcome to keep watching it, because I personally want to be able to live my life just the way that I had before, with that a bonus of being able to wheel everywhere. Now, the cardio is so important just for heart health. Strength training, much more important in my opinion, because the most important thing and skill that I feel you need to have as a wheelchair user is the ability to get from the floor to your chair. And I don't have that yet. So living alone, that's constant, just, it is a worry that I'm going to fall, because that is either a phone call I have to make to a neighbor that I don't really know very well. Like, we're neighbors, but we don't exactly, like, we're not best friends. I'm sure most of you can relate. Like, you have a respect boundary, and like my closest neighbor is across the street. Their driveway is a quarter-mile long. That's how far away we like to keep each other. We all moved out here for a reason, and it wasn't to hang out as besties all the time. So I think that being able to get yourself back into your wheelchair, it takes the fear out of going places away. It would like remove the necessity to have people essentially on speed dial, or to notify them like, I'm going to do something pretty dumb. You might get a phone call from me to come help me here pretty soon. So with that being said, I'm not at 2 years yet, but it's much closer than it is a year and a half now. I still can't. And so exercise is still very important. Even though I have other health concerns that are now going on, because my back is broken, that is going to land me in a less than ideal position for exercising for a little bit. And just making sure that if you don't have like access to equipment, you still can do exercises at home. You can spin low wheelies in your living room. You can, what they always used to tell me is, if you don't have dumbbells at home, use like soup cans. You can also fill like a water bottle full of water. It's heavy, or a milk gallon or half gallon. and use that as a weight. Like you don't have to buy expensive equipment to be able to get a good exercise. There are, as a paraplegic, however, like having access to better equipment makes it easier for you in the long run, however. But that's another added bonus of being a paraplegic that you get to find out is insurance companies absolutely do not care about what functions that you have. They only care that you are living, you are breathing, and that you cost them the least amount of money as possible. Most of the equipment that I get to use at like the rehab facility that I cannot do here, like a standing frame, like a electric bike called an FES bike that like helps your legs work again so that they can cycle. Those are all considered experimental, and they literally don't pay for them. My insurance doesn't. There's so many insurances that don't cover it because they get to hide behind the fact that it's an experimental technology that has no proven benefit. Even though, like, for a stroke victim, they would cover, most insurance companies, with my research, would cover for a stroke victim because they can see the benefit of being able to still cycle. It's pretty much once you lose your legs, they're like, oh, those are gone. You don't need them. You don't need them to function. And that is the insurance company saving money. That is why health care being run for profit is pretty dangerous, and then having insurance companies being able to profit off of it also is a whole different video. At one day I will have a lot of time on my hands and I will delve pretty deep into that. Not promising anytime soon. I got a lot on my plate right now. But if you can, or if you want equipment, you do not have to get new equipment. There's plenty of used equipment. There are plenty of people that are not paraplegics or quadriplegics that have equipment like this that they maybe don't use as much anymore and will sell. Or it would be like an estate sale, like if somebody passed away. That is a tip for like finding a lift. If getting financed for like an elevator or lift is not feasible for you, but you still need one, there are, or is rather, a pretty big market for lifts that were used for people that were kind of at the end of their lives that their insurance covered, but are sold for much cheaper. And there are obviously risks with that, but there are options. There are good people in the world that would help you. Your friends, your family, complete strangers, and just put your need out there. Let it be known. With any luck, someone will know someone who might know someone that can help you get to where you need to go. But you do need to ask. If you never tell anyone what you want and what you need to just get it yourself, which is what I'm a fan of doing. But with that being said, I am going to go off. I'm going to pretend that this was my exercise for the day, and I'm going to eat a lot of good food and just enjoy it. And I hope you do too. And I love you all, and have a great day.